When crafting an artistic horror experience, one can expect a variety of uncomfortable circumstances. These circumstances can vary from environments, sound design, stories, and characters. Among these basics, it's not uncommon to come across some freaks. I'm Scrunchia with DreadXP, and in this video, we'll be creeping through 10 indie horror games with Weirdos. For this list, I'll be covering horror titles that have characters that are straight up weirdos, whether that be in appearance or personality. A reminder that this list is in no special order, so if you see a game at a number you don't agree with, no need to whack out. Number 10, Mother. This title really kicks off a list for weirdos in horror games. In Mother, you are exactly as the title says, a mom. The interesting weirdos right off the bat, though, are not only the creatures you see, but your own children as well. Yikes. In this psychological horror experience, a variety of threats are after your children, and it's up to you to fend them off to save your family. Fight the critters, sleep when it's safe, and survive using a gun, phone, and variety of objects. I would say that even if your children looked like this, you would still love them. At least I hope so. Regardless, get your parental protective instincts going and try not to shoot your kids in the process. Number 9, The Smiling Man. A game with a man that's always smiling is already a recipe for a weirdo disaster. This title also takes the cake for having the weirdest looking characters on the list. Deciding that it's a good idea to go to the market every night for food, you come across a man that loves to creep and smile from all kinds of places. And if you hang around long enough, he might even do a little jig for you. While I encourage everyone to play the games presented in these lists for shits and giggles, this one especially is worth picking up for free on itch.io. It will seriously leave you feeling the wipe that smile off your face saying, Number 8, The Box. We live in a society where getting boxes at our doorsteps is a common occurrence. For some, it's almost an everyday occurrence. In this title, the box on your doorstep, though, is not as exciting as that useless rooster paper towel holder you may have ordered from Amazon. Deciding to take a dirty, random box inside rather than drop-kicking it to the nearest bush, you discover what it holds inside is more concerning than its gruffy appearance. Made in 5 days, keep your eyes on the box, deal with your hazardous wife, and work through the aftermath of leaving a weirdo in a box alone in your house. Regardless, here's to hoping this game serves as a warning sign for whenever you decide to bring random crusty boxes into your home. Unless, of course, you want a weirdo. He is kinda cute, in that lovable ugly way. Number 7, Bother the Truth. We've already seen children that look like weirdos in games, but what about reversing those roles? In this title, you get exactly that when a father ends up not being very fatherly. Waking up late during a rainy night, you discover your parents are out to dinner, leaving you by yourself. Surely it's cute to think your parents are out on a lovely date with one another, but you quickly learn a lovely romantic night out is far from the truth. A bloody discovery and one cut-line phone call later, you're quick to uncover just how fucked up your family is. Who would have thought your father was such an interesting individual? Number 6, August Night. We've seen a lot of obsessive and creepy weirdos on this list, but I figured I'd give you one that's a weirdo from afar. Presented in a PT-like way, you begin in a distorted and wobbly house, where a series of repeating hallways and rooms open some strange doors. Quite literally. Some phone calls, knocks on the door, and one weirdo TV show later, your stalker from beyond gets closer than anyone would actually want. That wasn't bad enough, it's in your shower doing a dance and having an inferno yoga session right out of your TV. No one wants to think about The Ring and PT in one indie horror mashup. but I suppose if you enjoy weird run-ins, this is definitely a game for you. Number 5. Experiment Groceries. Apparently, the desire to go out and grab groceries is too exciting of an opportunity for weirdos to resist. I suppose this is the consequence for going to the store every day instead of just going once and getting what you need for the week. Upon going to the store with your list of purely the essentials, you grab your junk, check it out, and move on with your night. That is, until another visit, and another visit. Some food poisoning looking food, urination, and one checkout fleshy lady clerk later, it's very evident that the physical weirdos are not the only thing you should be worried about. I'm telling y'all, it pays for more ways than one to just get all the food you need for the week in one trip. Number 4. The Alchemists House. You ever watch a horror movie and don't feel bad for the characters because they do something that's really stupid? I kinda feel that way with this title when an invitation from a weird stranger leads to some unsavory places. Being alone, worthless, on the streets and starving, you decide to accept an invitation to follow a man home for some hospitality. After being brought into the man's home, he explains how much he hates to see homelessness. Although, seeing the way he talks, I would have been out that door already.
Welcome to my house. Poor boy. I hate the people outside. They are all mean.
Having a warm bed to sleep in is quickly ruined when a strange, throbbing and shaking body appears and doors start to disappear. I won't spoil too much, but weird is an understatement. In the beginning it was said, "What do I have to lose?" I think we know there's certainly always something to lose now. Number 3. Fears to Fathom, Norwood Hitchhike. A young woman traveling alone historically has been a recipe for a creepy, weirdo-including disaster. In this title, maintaining that fact does not fall short. In the second chapter in the Fears to Fathom series, you play as Holly Gardner, who's having a little interstate adventure after a gaming convention. After getting low on gas, you decide to stop at a gas station and hear about a sketchy and possibly haunted bridge ahead. Deciding to stay in a motel, your experience is anything far from weirdo interactions. I hope that gaming convention you were driving home from was worth it. I, however, will be staying home to avoid something like this. Until working for Dread leads me to one, of course. I think I'll take my chances with weirdos on a plane instead, though. Number 2. Wrong floor. Alright, let's be honest. We've all accidentally gotten off on the wrong floor of an elevator, whether we were just not paying attention or someone's poorly behaved kid licks a button for fun and the elevator stops one floor too early. Regardless, I'm going to go ahead and say your wrong floor mistake likely did not lead to something like this. Getting stuck in the basement of an apartment building, you're instantly thrown into a dirty, crusty environment where the tenant that lives there is a bit unhappy to see you. Or is he? Escape the basement and the weirdo that lurks in the shadows while trying to avoid plenty of trash and maybe a body or two. Something tells me, however, that this basement dweller does not care if you meant to get stuck down there or not. Number 1. Blood Wash. We've seen a lot of weirdos and creeps on this list, but it's honestly hard to compete with one that's literally called Creepy Guy. And it's not just because he wants to sit next to you on the bus when literally every other seat is open.
Hello. May I sit beside you?
Pregnant, in college, and living with her abusive boyfriend, Sarah's dealing with enough, but just to add to it, there's a serial killer on the loose. The killer is known as the Womb Ripper, and Sarah is a perfect target. This is already the worst, but when the washing machine in the basement breaks down in the apartment complex, A trip to a 24-hour laundromat might take the cake for an already terrible situation. I won't give any of the juicy, quite literally, details away, but what is found at the laundromat is anything but clean. Suddenly, wearing dirty underwear kinda seems worth it. Whether or not you enjoy a good weirdo in your indie horror games like I do, one can't deny the extra layer that creepy or strange characters add to a horror experience. And it's a great way to self-reflect. If you feel like you're smiling too much at someone from behind a building at night, maybe just don't do that. What did you think of our list? Certainly let us know in the comments below or tweet away at DreadXP on Twitter. Thanks for watching and stay positively spooky.